Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again with another reveal from Kuro Games. And they usually take these character pre-release reveals in a certain order. They usually start off with a bit of their lore, then get into their kit, their weapon, and then of course their demo. And we're at the very start of that train of drip marketing, starting off with, of course, that reveal. And the thing is, when it comes to Mornye, is that I think she just intrinsically has a lot of interest from the player base. And one of the big reasons for why is this incredible cutscene over here from 3.0 Story Act 1. Mornye wasn't necessarily taking the center stage over here, but she definitely did take center stage, not during this whole quest, but during this one cutscene in particular, where you can clearly see that she knew Rover from way back in the day, and as you can see over here, she still had them legs. So a lot of you might be wondering, okay, where'd they go though? Why she like that though? And so probably the breakdown that we're going to be looking at is going to explain just what the fuck happened here. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get right on into it. Mornye is actually the character I've been looking most forward to in the story, and I've already mentioned the reasons for why. This was a great cutscene. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get right on into it. With the first line over here, I am Mornye, Research Institute Engineer and okay, she's a nerd. All right, about Mornye. So I guess we're going to get a bit of a personality here. Efficiency above all. It is common knowledge that Professor Mornye is a staunch advocate of efficiency. Anything that can be done in one fell swoop should never be divided into steps. Okay, she's like that girl that, or no, she's not even like a girl. She's like that person where when you're done grocery shopping, every single finger is occupied. You got like one string on each finger. You're carrying all 10 bags inside in just one run. Even though you might like injure your back or like sprain your ankle or something, whatever, doesn't really matter. Pull something. You got to get it all in one go. Maybe this is the reason why she doesn't have legs anymore. She was doing a little bit too much after going to like the local Safeway or something. Who knows? This principle extends even to her eating habits. If possible, she would consume an entire meal in a single gulp. Sweet honey pot jam, rich cream, savory skelecanth, and fresh, invigorating fern spores are among Mornye's preferred foods. So she basically just blends everything up into a smoothie and drinks it. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like she just like blends everything up. I don't think like flavor and like texture and like eating experience is very high priority for her because she's maximizing efficiency. So she's like the dude that like takes chicken breast and then like puts it in the blender and turns it into juice and drinks it. Bro, she's a fucking freak. Anyways, to maximize efficiency, she uses simple yet effective physical methods to mix these ingredients into a form that's easy to... Bro, she's blending chicken breast. Bro, what the fuck? What is wrong with this character? Okay, alright. Okay. As a result, even in the midst of scientific research, she can enjoy a variety of flavors utilizing only a straw. The ability to experience multiple flavors at once is the epitome of technology and efficiency. Bro, ew. Ew. I got no commentary to say other than ew. That's ew. As a professor, Professor Mornye's electives are always full. Students are drawn to her lectures not because of lenient grading or an unapproachable demeanor, but because she is the chief engineer of Helios. Mornye regularly appears in journal headlines that report the latest new solar ceremony developments. Okay, so they're kind of just there just for clout. They're there just for clout. Professor Mornye makes no effort to wake up the sleeping students because apparently she's boring as shit. It's just lore confirmed. She's boring as fuck. I'm just telling you that right now. Doing so is not among a lecturer's obligations. Instead, she tries alternative approaches. On one occasion, she used a jar of freshly harvested dusk honey pot as a teaching aid to explain the reactor drive. This was followed by a creeping torch pine bow, standing in for the exostrider. During the ceremony, she explained one must first obtain the parameters of the reactor drive's energy field, or the dusk honey pot, and then it... Bro, I don't know if she's that... I don't know if she's that good of a teacher. She might be actually legitimately just bad at teaching. From what I'm reading over here, she just might not be good at it. You've probably experienced this once or twice in your life if you've gone to college, where there's a guy at the college, right, who's in like getting a PhD or some shit, and they're good at learning, but then they're being told, hey, you gotta like teach a class on the side. If you want to be here, we'll give you a discount on your tuition. You got to teach an undergraduate class on the side. And this is the end result. Like, they're just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, that's what it is. So even from like a real world perspective, she's actually very realistic. Super autistic, super bad at teaching. But probably the smartest person at the school. Because believe me when I say this, if you doing this, you're not... I'm sorry, you're not normal. If this is what you do to eat food, you're not normal. It is what it is. When efficiency is rated that high to the point where you're grinding up all your food into liquid, nah, bro. Fucking Soylent more. Like she's literally a soy. She's soy. She's a Soylent girl. Chief engineer. In the eyes of many students, Mornye appears to be an unsociable scientist. Quiet, withdrawn, always in her laboratory, and comfortable only when dealing with statistics and data. Yeah. Okay, so literally exactly what I said before. What they may not realize is that the artificial night of Lahai Roy was a project she advocated for at the Space Trek Collective meeting and was ultimately completed against strong opposition, only because she had gathered and coordinated the collective insight of her peers. So did it used to be just always day? Like, did it used to be that it was always day before that? I feel like that comes with its own set of issues. Where you're living, it's always day, so I'm surprised she had that much resistance. As a scientist, Mornye understands that technological progress is never the product of individual genius alone. All major undertakings are built upon communication and cooperation. Though she finds social interactions stressful due to her childhood experiences. Sorry, that's not lore related. Sorry. Are these the childhood experiences she's talking about? Is she like traumatized seeing Rover hang out with all these other people? Hey, maybe that's what it was. She just like, shit. He's too busy talking to my mom. Because you want to know who Rover hears the frequencies of. And this is going to be a cool lore thing. This is going to be a cool lore. I think that's her mom. I think that's Mornye's mom. Because they got the same colored eyes and the white hair. I think that's Mornye's mother. And guess how Rover even sees this? Because frequencies from the past reach out to them. So I bet I'm thinking Mornye, this is my opinion. And maybe after you guys have seen the way that they interact in the story, this is my take. Rover seems like her adoptive father that like left. Literally, he seems like an adoptive father that left. Why do you think she looks so sad in that cutscene? As he's leaving Star Torch Academy and everyone's waving by. That's literally the scene here. He's leaving. And how crazy would it be if their bond was so close that she's actually one of the main reasons why Rover erased their memory? What if she's one of the main reasons why Rover had to erase their memory? Because otherwise they wouldn't be able to leave. Just say. Because I see this whole thing about stressful due to her childhood experiences, and bro, she looks traumatized when this scene is happening. And then you see like this moment right afterwards. Brother, oh, come on. This is like basically finding your lost, like a kid you never knew you had. That's what this scene feels like. A kid you forgot that you had. And now Rover's just like, shit, how many years of child support do I have to catch up on? Oh, brother, I am cooked. The last thing that I'll say in regards to this scene is that there's a specific moment where I believe Rover meets Mornye for the first time. And let me see if I can play it, actually. She's talking right now, right? She's
At this rate, it'll trigger an overload.
She doesn't even know who Rover is. I don't think she's seen him yet. But there's a moment where they like make eye contact for the first time. Bro, she's about to cry.
Easy.
So, with all of that going on, you got childhood trauma, you got that scene from her childhood. I'm gonna be real here. Why do you guys think I said that this is the unit that I'm most looking forward to in the story? It's because they did such a fantastic job of, like, setting up this reunion. We still don't really even know anything about it, but we just know that this reunion is super important. So, yeah, glad to see that showing up over here, and of course, you know, it's a big reason for why her character is like this. So, she is nevertheless compelled to step into the public sphere. Drawing upon her expertise in research and data analysis, and despite her limited eloquence, so she's a bit of a bad speaker, she fulfilled her responsibilities to ensure the implementation of the new solar ceremony. There you go. Boom, boom. All right, so let's hear a little bit, right? Let's hear a little bit about why she's so focused on the stars. There's a big sort of motivation for this character. Everything that we've seen about her as a unit is that her big focus is just furthering the purpose of Space Trek Collective. Reaching the stars, going to space, harnessing the power of the Exostrider. So why is that such a big focus for her? What are the stars? Mornye lies in bed, raising her fingers toward the sky and reshaping them against the starlight. First into the gemstone in her earring, then the beacon of a lighthouse, and finally the eye of a fox. It is one of the few games she played as a child. I wonder with who she played this game. I wonder who she played this game with. Linking stars into imagined patterns, hoping their fleeting beauty might become real and carry her to a world without illness. And this is gonna be the big one over here. This is gonna be the big one over here. Get ready for this. Without illness. So you got this for illness or loneliness. Because you want to know who's not alive at this point? This person. That person's dead. And this person left. Now, illness is no longer her burden. Light flows through her prosthetic legs. A freak accident became a turning point, granting her the ability to walk upon the earth like an ordinary person. And loneliness. She parts her hands, letting the starlight spill between her palms. There is so much she remembers within that light. Snow-laden winds brushing against flushed cheeks. A quiet research outpost. Mount Firmament? Mount Firmament? A long-held idea of reaching toward the stars and the wider universe, and a figure she won't ever forget. Probably not Mount Firmament. I think it's just the Roya Frostlands. But what's obvious over here, guys, she's talking about Rover. I won't be lonely anymore, she thinks. I will reach that light. So yeah, there you go. And as you can probably tell, I think this is genuinely the most, like, lore-rich and probably, like, sentimental character breakdown we've gotten so far. And I'm just gonna be real here. The amount of times that you've seen Rover kind of, like, implicitly mentioned over here as the reason for why she's doing this, it's clearly happened a bunch of times. Now, let's read and get into a bit of, like, the nerdy stuff, I guess. And this is what I'm gonna say over here. Bro, they need to reformat this. This looks like shit. I'm going to be honest. The formatting on this looks like some doggy doo-doo dog water. I don't know why it looks terrible. So let's get into the resonance evaluation report for Mornye. Baseline classification, she's a natural resonator with a tacit mark on the lateral aspect of the left thigh. I'm not sure how that works when it's a prosthetic thigh. Like, it kind of, does it still show up? Whatever. I guess we'll figure out the lore behind a prosthetic tacit mark. Effective range, approximately 20 meters. Within this radius, the subject demonstrates direct, fine-grained manipulation of mechanical entities with complex internal structures. Okay, so her forte is that she can, like, control machines? Her forte, she's like Magneto? Not really like Magneto, I guess, but she can, like, provide fuel for the machines? Yeah, I guess. Within this so precision of manipulation remains stable across the entire effective range with no observed signal degradation. Okay, so she got some strength. Activation prerequisite. The Forte initiation requires a complete structural analysis of the target's internal mechanical composition. The Forte cannot be initiated on objects with unknown internal structures. Not gonna lie, dude, her forte ability sounds kind of ass. I'm gonna be real here. So basically, she can't do anything with something unless she made it. It's super conditional. It's like she can only control the stuff if she knows exactly how it works. That doesn't sound like that useful in the moment, but yeah, I guess she is like the weapons manufacturer, right? Which makes sense because, well, what's one thing you see during her attack animations? Yeah, bro, she summons, like, rectifiers and shit to, like, blow... I mean, it makes sense why she does this now. Yeah, that makes sense how she's able to summon, like, 400 cannons to shoot the enemy at once. Yeah, that's her superpower. All right, physical condition overview. And this is where, obviously, we're gonna get a breakdown of whatever the fuck happened to her legs. Diagnosis. The subject presents with congenital hypoplasia of the lumbosacral plexus, resulting in permanent loss of motor function distal to the coccygeal region and the absence of autonomous locomotion capability. Yeah, she broke her back. Yeah, that's the EL. Explain like I'm 5. She broke her back really bad. She broke her back so bad she can't feel anything below a certain point on her back. That's all it is. So, rehabilitation status. Through a custom neural interface prosthetic limb system, the subject has achieved full independence in ambulation and daily activity. Functional stability has been maintained for several years. This evaluation constitutes a routine review. So, I'm pretty sure that comes with it, like, half-body fucking bisection, whatever the fuck is going on over here. Comes with its own complications. That's probably why all she does is fucking drink shit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she got, like, one of those fucking, like, tubes that, like, one of those tubes that, like, comes out of her fucking stomach and shit for that. Would probably make sense. All right, now we got the overclock diagnostic report. Waveform analysis of the test sample indicates an elliptical oscillation. Okay, all right, come on. Come on. Okay, is she about to overclock or not? Let me know. Let me know. Is she about to overclock or not? Let's see. Resonant criticality is within normal range. Subject stability remains robust. No present risk. But she has a prior history of overclocking. You know what I think happened? I think that we, as playable characters, are probably going to feel an immense amount of guilt after 3.0's quest. This is what I think is going to happen. We're going to find out that, yes, this occurred. And Mornye became unstable after Rover left. She overclocked, and that's how she got that injury. So, basically, it will be our fault that she's like this. I am 99% sure that's why. Because we're going to be like her adoptive father and stuff. She's going to be like emotionally devastated because we go leave to go reset. Then she's going to be like doing some experiment. Try to like, you know, she goes a little bit too far because she's like depressed. And then this shit happens and she loses her legs. I legitimately think that's what's going to happen. And we are going to feel so bad, because I think there's a reason why Kuro Games decided to delay the second part story. Because one thing that I've been feeling about 3.0 as a whole is that it feels a bit off because we don't have the second part of the story. That's my take. I felt like the second part of the story should have dropped at the start of the version. But if a twist like that, where we're basically the reason why she's like a cripple, but she's still, you know, like she still like admires us and stuff. If that's like the type of like emotional impact the story's gonna have, then yes, I am very happy with them delaying it because I see so much potential over here, right? You see all the clues being listed out. Stable, but then overclocked once in the past. Why did she overclock? She's lonely. She had traumatic childhood experiences. And then all you have to go on is this. And so, if we had already played the second part of 3.0 and we had already gotten Mornye's story, I feel like it wouldn't have had as much of an impact because we haven't been able to see that much of her character. But with all this, oh boy, I'm ready to go. I feel like this story is going to be amazing. All right, so they got some specifics of that incident. The subject reported inducing a brief episode several years ago to sustain the operation of a critical signal tower. Due to timely medical intervention, no post-overclocking symptoms were observed. Routine physical examinations are advised. Psychological counseling is currently deemed unnecessary. Ooh. Well, excited to find out more about that one. Why did that one occur? All right. Now let's just go ahead and get some of the finer details out of the way over here. Transparent legs. Yeah, that I think everybody can see that. When Mornye speaks, her demeanor is all professional. Yeah, she puts people to sleep. A hopeful gaze. Mornye tries to tuck her fringe back with a small hair clip, but a stray lock of hair manages to slip from the clip to hang over her right eye. She lifts her head, her gaze settling unexpectedly on the empty air before her, waiting for a gaze that comes her way. So she's... Dude, she's just a nerd. What else we got? Anecdotes. The modified star stack. Okay, so this is the Halo of Starry Radiance that's referenced in her Sonata set. So apparently this is a standard issue for all Space Trek Collective personnel, and it's used to monitor students' frequency signals and assess their condition in real time. But she modified hers to do more, and now it stores and autonomously activates her forte on command. So it can, like, reply to work messages, check her limbs, pilot vehicles, command hover cannons. So it's like an AI. Wait, so Mornye is AI. Wait, so Mornye does have AI. Holy shit. It does the thinking for her. Maybe those Hoyo shills were actually right. Mornye's story. A little bit about her legs. The paralysis in my legs had minimal impact on my theoretical research. As a result, during my schooling back home, I immersed myself entirely in reading, learning, studying theories, and writing papers. This way, I would make myself feel better, to feel like that I was a person of value, just like everyone else. Oh, very sad. And no, I'm not sad about it. I see now that it was all worthwhile, every bit of it. Okay, so clearly, she was in a bit of a rut back then when she lost her legs. But that was after Rover left. Gosh, there's a lot of time that I feel like I need to see. Guys, I feel like there's just such a massive gap of missing time that I need more information about. Mornye's favorite food. The instant wake-up gel energy sachet developed by the Division of Ecology Conservation. It manages to keep over 95% of the ingredient's energy. A real triumph. How does it taste? I quite enjoy it myself. You can taste the entire ingredient list in every bite. Very efficient. Who the fuck even would describe food like that? Thoughts? I graduated from the Department of Exostrider Engineering at Star Torch Academy. So, yeah. Remember what I said before about PhD students that stay and take on higher education, but then are told to teach a class and they suck dick at it? Yeah, that's her. So yeah, and my senior thesis was the correlation analysis between energy output management and... The proposal caught the attention of the Space Trek Collective, which further developed it into the new Solar Ceremony project. The content specified in my paper involves utilizing Sorry, I'll try my best to find topics that may interest you. She knows. She knows. She knows she's boring as fuck. I'm glad she's at least cognizant of it. Alright, let's check out her animations. Yep, she's got her weapons right there. Yep, she's doing her research right there. I see she likes dodecahedrons a lot. I think that's the name of this shape, right? That's a dodecahedron. And now we got the convene animation. Oh, look at her. Look at her doing some astral modulation. Oh, she got caught being a nerd. And there she goes blowing shit up. Awesome. Alright, but that is going to be the Mornye lore breakdown. And this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I've ever read a full one of these before, but there's a reason why I did for this character. Because, as you probably guessed from the number of references that I had to, of course, all the things that happened in this quest, I'm really excited for her. I'm really excited for her story in particular, and I'm really excited to see just what the hell went on from Rover leaving the academy to where we are right now. And I hope a big part of her quest is filling in that massive gap in knowledge because, well, let's just be honest here. Kuro's made a very, very, very compelling hook with whatever the hell happened here. And I think all of us are very interested in hearing more about how it actually all panned out. So let me know what you all thought. Peace out.